for me.
Jeremy, have you ever driven a classic car?
I mean, define classic. So like old
Something
school, like
from
the
the
Camaro,
70s,
Mustangs. Yeah.
You're back.
I drove a 69 Camaro before. This was years ago, long time ago. I've never owned, the oldest vehicle I owned was a 79 Trans Am, like the Smokey and the Bandit, Trans Am. I had one of those. It didn't run very well. I had this dream of working on it and fixing it. And every morning I would get up and, I'm like, I should go work on the car. And I'm like, I could just lay here. I always pick to lay there.
Is the steering wheel so hard to turn sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, like I drove a completely restored one, but yeah, some of the older ones, yeah, the steering's not as good. You don't have power steering and all that shit. And
yeah, what year was power steering invented?
Oh God,
80s?
Yeah, I think so. But like, yeah, and it feels better. So like, even like, some of the cars I've had in recent years, like I've had like a 90s Mustang versus now, like I just rented, when I went to Vegas, I rented an Escalade. And it had all this fucking like automatic driving bullshit, and you brake before. Like if I put it in, cruise control on, it would automatically stop if I got too close to the vehicle in front of me. I'm going, well, I don't like self-driving cars at all. And the more advanced we get, the more control you're losing over these cars, and it scares the hell out of me. Because one day it's going to be like, oh, you made a mean tweet. We're going to lock your car doors.
Oh, my God.
We're going to drive you to the police station because you said you insulted someone and didn't use the proper pronouns.
Cat
Williams and Joe Rogan talked about. Yeah, Joe Rogan and Cat Williams talked about that on their podcast, on the Joe Rogan Experience. How sooner or later, don't be surprised when the government could just shut off your car just because they want to. Like,
we're getting there with the phones and the games. Like they're monitoring our game chats. I mean, we're on our way. We're just it's little baby steps, but we're getting closer to it every day. And it seems like people are always finding just the right reason. Like right now, the girl who's pushing for we got to get rid of men in gaming, right? You did the story on that, Jeremy. I mean, it's fucking nuts. What do you think's gonna come out of that? They're just gonna police harder in the chats, and we're gonna lose more and more freedom.
I mean, I feel like I'll go back to, and I don't want to try to bring politics too much into this, but unfortunately, politics is tied into everything that's going on right now.
Trump's in New York right now. Let's do this shit.
The low point for me was when Trump got banned from Twitter, and then banned from all social media. And in my mind, and it's not about Trump as more as it's like the sitting president of the United States of America was just banned from all social media. If that can happen to him, what chance do any of us have? You know what I mean? Like, what chance does anybody have if they can do that to him, the most famous person on the planet and the sitting president? So that was a very scary time. And I don't typically like get overwhelmed with like being like losing focus or losing like my, like hopefulness of what's going on. But at that point, I'm like, I don't know if there's any hope that we're going to get out of this. Thankfully, a guy that maybe I'll let him borrow a few bucks one day, but his name's Elon Musk. This guy comes along and decides to buy Twitter.
Starving harvest.
Yeah, him buying Twitter. And I will continue to repeat this point over and over again. Elon buying Twitter, we're going to hopefully look back in 10, 20 years from now, is one of the most important moments of this whole culture war thing right here, because I do believe that Twitter being purchased by Elon has had a almost like a domino effect. Yeah, domino effect on other social media platforms and how they're carrying out their behavior on platforms. Then you've got the rise of Rumble, and you've got all these other platforms that are giving people a voice. And I feel like they've overstepped too much. And so if you go back to something like that girl that, said that men were the problem in gaming, on Jack Dorsey's Twitter, that whole comment section would have been nothing but support for her. And
remember when they would ban people? It was always one day Twitter did it, then one day Facebook did it, then one day Instagram did it, and they slowly and quietly did it in lockstep. Now they can't pull that shit anymore because that would be a leading headline. Every social media bans X person except Twitter.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's where we've had the reverse effect with Elon. So I just feel like they've overstepped too much. COVID was another moment where they overstepped way too much, and too many people bought into it and finally got fed up with it, and they can never do that again. but unfortunately, for all of us, the election is the crucial point, and if Joe Biden wins, we are fucked.
I don't see how this could end with any kind of grace. Honestly, it feels like there's so much tension over this election right now, and I don't know. I'm actually it's going to be pretty wild going into November. We're already seeing the measures they take to try to
I see a lot of political fatigue too. I kind of wonder if it'll be kind of an underwhelming election too. I feel a lot of people are tired.
Not a chance.
I don't think so. Not with Trump.